What's the old adage? There's lies, there's damn lies, and then there's statistics. So here we go again with the government lying to us in the job numbers and using data and statistics to lie to the average person. And we've showed this many, many times. We show this in our investment portfolio, our monthly portfolio allocation letter, what we are using with our in our family office, in our portfolio allocation, where all of our assets are, and in our net worth. We go through that, and we have our new one coming up here in the next few days. We'll have that coming out probably by Monday. So you can see and go back and look at all the portfolio letters and shows our allocation, the breakdown in the asset classes. And I'm not talking about like, well, I've got some stock in the energy sector. I've got some stock in consumer discretionable. No, this is actually invested in different asset classes. Your money should be, if you're doing proper risk management, put in different asset classes. So that the dirty secret on Wall Street is they want you to diversify, right? Wow, diversify. That's just, they think, and just like, oh, stocks and bonds. Or here, we got some stuff in energy, we got some stuff in hospitality, we got some stuff in tech. It's like, no, that's all paper asset class. Stocks and bonds, same asset class. 401k, pensions, same asset class. That's all paper. And that's all denominated in dollars, which are losing value by the day. So all those different assets inside the paper realm should be going up over time. So if you're going down in the paper asset class, like stocks and bonds have been over the last year or so, you're doing something really wrong. Our portfolio went down a little bit last year because we are very diversified, but it went down only a fraction compared to the average person. And now it's way up in the last 6 months because we're diversified and we buoyed ourselves properly. So be careful. We talk about the entire purpose of what we do here is to question everything with boldness, even the existence of God himself. Do your own research, trust but verify. That's the ethos of a true free market, liberty-minded free market person and a Bitcoiner. That is the ethos of trusting everyone, but verifying at the same time. Being a good and decent person and trusting, but also verifying. The biggest problem in society, in my opinion, is that humans are good-natured by nature, and 99% of people are good-natured people, but they just trust. They don't verify. The average person just trusts, and there's no verification. There's no due diligence. There's no research. So we have, I'm looking at gold here now. We're going to go through the trifecta, and we're going to go through the big three liquidity indicators to give us a sense of what's going on. In the equity markets, we don't care. We don't care what's going on in the paper markets necessarily. The only part of the paper markets we care about is the credit market. That's the biggest market in the world. We care about the 10-year treasury and the dollar relative strength. You could look at the VIX, the volatility index, and see what's going on there. And then crude oil. What is crude oil doing? The lifeblood of the economy. And then we'd look at the big three liquidity indicators, gold, silver, and Bitcoin, to see what's actually happening. These metrics will tell us what's going on. And you can get into other stuff too, and you can, there's there's PMI, and there's all kinds of things you can get into. But again, if you look at these big things, we're trying to keep it simple for the average person, and it'll show you again really quickly why and how the government's lying to you. We show often inflation, right? We show the debt is skyrocketing, just flying out of control, right? This is going to continue. Interest on the debt is going to continue ballooning. It's going to hit $1 trillion in the next 6 to 12 months. Probably going to hit $1.5 trillion. This is going to continue skyrocketing because this is not going to be as big this year because the tax receipts are way down. The year was very bad last year in terms of asset prices growing, so they're going to have very little in terms of tax receipts. And I already showed they are about a third to 75% lower than they usually are, what the government collected just over the last few weeks. So the other important thing is to see, I believe this is the dollar versus Bitcoin. So this is the dollar versus Bitcoin. If you're holding a dollar, you've been getting destroyed versus someone who's been holding Bitcoin the last 5 years. And I'm trying to think of where I'm going to find this. Oh, here we go. So this is what I wanted to show you as well. The government lying to you about inflation. The government lying to you about everything that's going on. If you use the 1980 data, this would be the actual inflation rate, probably about 13, 14%. And they're telling you, no, it's about 5, 6. Absolutely lying to you because they're obfuscating the truth. They are not telling you the full truth. So you can choose to believe what you want. But I have 15x our portfolio just over the last 5, 6, 7, 8 years because I look at the real data, because we choose to live in reality. The closer to truth you are, the more successful you become. Truth is truth. The farther away from truth you get, the poorer you will be in all areas of your life: health, wealth, happiness. So get close to the truth as possible. We never are going to be perfect. We're humans, but the farther you get from reality, the harder the time you're going to have. So the U.S. economy added 253,000 jobs in April, above market expectations of 180. So people look at that and it's like, oh, wow, they added a bunch of jobs. But they're not telling you how many we lost. Let's talk about how many we lost, right? Truly, because they're not telling you that. And they're not going to tell you. They're just going to say, well, we were net 253,000 jobs. No, we're not. No, we're not. How can you say that when, oh, weird, I have receipts here. Interesting. So again, this is a nice email newsletter I get. I like watching things and looking at things that I don't always agree with. This is like a Wall Street market letter, and I like to try to get data from all different sources and all different people. So that way I can try to find truth and try to find reality. So here is an example of a newsletter, again, that I look at, and they give a lot of market data. So again, for 6-8 months, I've told you guys, there's been a trillion. All this headline roundup has just been massive job layoffs over and over. And we did a video like 3 or 4 months ago about the lies, again, of the market and what they are doing to obfuscate truth. And the tens of thousands of jobs being lost, but then they're telling you how great the jobs market is. So, interestingly enough, just email from, I think it was yesterday or the day before, U.S. job openings fell for a third straight month to a 2-year low. So they're saying jobs economy added 253,000 jobs, but yet they're also saying the U.S. job openings fell for a third straight month. And I wonder why. So let's dig into why exactly that is happening. So, what do you know? IBM expects AI to replace thousands of jobs in first such acknowledgement. This is going to be a trend going forward. And if you... Well, I guess you're wondering why the market is volatile, why it's so volatile and the volatility is swinging back and forth so much. Well, you have things like AI. People don't know what's going on. You have Blackstone limiting their REIT investor redemptions again in April. We have done this. We'll have to do another video on this weekend. We've done this like 6 months in a row. They have been 7 months or whatever it's been. They have been continually, and I believe it's been every month, but we've done like 4 or 5 videos on this. They've been gating their funds and not letting people get their money out. This is like the banks not letting the depositors get their deposits. This is like Robinhood or like a brokerage account shutting down the brokerage redemption, or the shutting down redemption. People getting their, can't trade anymore. There's a silver squeeze, or there's a squeeze on GameStop or something like that. And then they shut it down because they don't want the stock to collapse or something like that. And that's the free market. That is the free market at work. If you are shown to be a Ponzi, if you are shown to be a crock, a snake oil salesman, a snake oil company, a zombie company, you should be shut down. This is the whole problem. GM, Chrysler going bankrupt, and we just prop them back up, too big to fail. Here we go. JP Morgan's going to bail people out, just like JP Morgan's done dozens of times before. And JP Morgan, you make a case that they own the world. They own America because they keep bailing it. You think they're doing it for we're just doing it for kicks and giggles. You think they're just charity. They're the ones behind all this, and they keep bailing people out. And then they say, I got you by the balls now. You're going to do what we say now. And then they're a proxy for the government. They're in bed with the government, right? JP Morgan, literally John Pierpont Morgan, the initial guy, now it's JP Morgan Chase, they're doing it. And it's just, he taught his people well. He taught his family well, that's for sure. So not to get too into the weeds here, we're going to break this down more time, but this is how you have to look at the news. You have to trust but verify. You have to understand that they're saying conflicting things over and over again. They're saying the economy is up. And then here they're saying, the economy's job openings are at a 2-year low. So we're adding jobs, but there's no one that needs employees, really. They're job opening. So open positions for work fell third straight month to a 2-year low. 2-year low. That was 2021. Early 2021. That was pretty low. People weren't even working then. So, I mean, you tell me. You tell me what to think. You tell me where we're going and where we're headed. This is why, now getting into this, so AI is going to be replacing jobs. People aren't going back to work. They're going to be struggling. If you don't know how to get ahead in the future, you're going to be stuck with the government, whatever the government gives you, whatever the scraps are on the table. This is why it's so important to get prepared now. Add skills to your repertoire. Bitcoin, gold, silver as well. Add assets, bearer assets, food, water, purification, energy, lead, ammo, firearm, security, land, and building community. Do this now. I'm telling you, do this now. Get prepared, because this will become a massive, asset for you. All these things will be massive assets for you going forward, and the skills you learn now in developing them are going to be massive. Gardening, being able to reduce your dependency on the system. It's going to be huge. So again, the bond market, 3.4, that yields up a little bit. So bonds selling off just a tad, and which shows us why the DXY is weakening a little bit. Down just a touch as well. So again, people flooding into the gold and silver and Bitcoin and oil. So getting back in an energy trade a little bit, because again, the payroll numbers came out a little bit better. More than expected, 70,000 more jobs. But yet people aren't looking into the details. So maybe the economy will be good. $68, if you remember yesterday, was oil. So now it's up 4% to above $71 a barrel, because people are thinking this is great. No, it's not. No, it's not. Wake up. Wake up. Gold and silver still, doing, crushing it. Gold was just up to its all-time high, just below that. Silver was at over $26 an ounce, just below that as well. Bitcoin, again, so those are the big three. The big three liquidity indicators showing us where liquidity is with Bitcoin, gold, and silver. And again, these are popping, showing us liquidity is being pumped in the system. So it is showing us that. Energy's up. That's why the dollar is down. And yields have been suppressed because liquidity is being pumped into the system overall. This is why, and this is why we do this every single day, to show what's happening, to actually see the writing on the wall, and to not have to believe just one little data point or not believe one little host on a mainstream news channel. You have to be able to see and read in between the lines. And Bitcoin, running. What do you know? Running beautifully every 10 minutes, TikTok next block, auditable, predictable. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. So please share this out because the algorithm hates truth, absolutely hates truth. I appreciate you coming to my TED Talk, questioning everything, the boldness, even the existence of God himself. And this is not financial advice, it's freedom advice. And I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Godspeed.